Alright YouTubers, what's going on? It's been a while since I did a video. I've been a little under the weather, so I do apologize if I cough or sniffle or anything during this video. Still fighting off this sickness, whatever it's been, for the last few days. So that's why there was no chat the other night as well. But we'll focus on this review for right now. We're going to look at the Canik TP9SA. This is the new version of the TP9 that Canik has just released. There we go, making sure it's open, or clear, excuse me, showing you that it's clear. This is the new single action version, hence the SA on the model number. Striker fired pistol. It is 18 round capacity, 9mm, has an interchangeable back straps, so you can get a smaller or larger grip. This is, I believe, the one that comes with. I find the grip to be pretty thin, which I really like. I was afraid it was going to be too wide, and it's quite thin. I have medium-sized hands, and it fits just about perfectly. So I really dig it. It's really comfortable. You've got your really good grip here, stipling on the grip here. This is from the factory. This isn't custom. It's got really good grip. You've also got your checkers here on the front and on the back with the back strap. So you get a really nice grip with the gun. Hopefully Talon Grips does make their grips for these guns, because I'll definitely be putting some on. But out of the box, really good grips. You got these nice finger indentations and grooves here that are really comfortable for your hands when you're aiming the pistol and holding the pistol. Got a nice high beaver tail on there. It's got 3-dot sights. You can see they're pretty standard, except for you got that little line on the back sight that helps you line up that front sight, and that actually works really well. I was pretty shocked about how well it actually worked. Kind of thought it might be a little gimmick. Works quite well. So there's been a few YouTubers that have reviewed this, that got these guns early, put them through some paces. The biggest, I say the best attribute of this gun is the trigger. It's quite amazing actually for the price point. These come in around $330 is pretty much the average price on these. And the trigger is just as good, if not better, than my Walther PPQ, which, oops, I'm throwing guns around, which is known as having pretty much the best striker fired trigger out there. There is the new HK VP9, which some have said they've kind of taken best of both worlds for those guns and created this trigger. You know, it's got a very short pull, and watch this reset. That's your reset. That's like nothing. Very little take up, pull. There's your reset. So it's just smooth, very smooth out of the box, super easy to control, really quick for follow-up shots. Just a joy to shoot. I mean, I've only put a couple hundred rounds through it, but because I just got it. But I will tell you that it's an amazing gun for the money. Some other features: you do have a ambidextrous mag release, or excuse me, a mag release button that can be switched to left or right. I like it just where it is, just fine. Works just great. The magazines are 18-round mags, which is nice. There was a lot of speculation that this gun would take Beretta M9 mags, which it does not. Now, here's to show you. I've got a Beretta M9 mag handy. Right, that PPQ mag. That's a PPQ mag. One of these days I'm going to find a Beretta M9 mag. I've got a stack of them right here. Here we go. You can see that it will not fit. It stops right about there. They look to be almost exactly the same magazine until you look at it and see the cutout is not in the right place. It's down there, needs to be up there. But what's cool is the previous version TP9 magazines work in this gun. Now, minus the floor plate. This, let's see here, this one right here. It's one I just got. I just ordered, because the TP9SA mags are not available. Like, you can't find them. It comes with two 18-rounders, so at least you get two mags. But finding a third, or any extra mags is going to be difficult. Well, what I did is I had a slew of these Beretta M9 mags, some kind of cheaper ones that I didn't shoot very often because they were just kind of something that came with the gun. And I took the base plate off of one of those and switched it out with the one that came with the TP9 magazine. Now, this is the standard TP9 mag has this larger base plate that kind of just fits better into that gun. And they're exactly the same mags for the SA and the regular TP9 minus the base plate. So I threw this Beretta base plate on there, and what do you know? Locks up just fine, locks the slide back, good to go. So you can use the regular TP9 mags if you have a spare base plate hanging around, or you might go to your gun store, see if they have some, you know, cheap magazines out there or something. I don't know. I had one laying around, wanted to try it. Works great. So the TP9 magazines are the same. You just got to change the base plate out. They do make a Beretta. Magar makes a Beretta Plus 2 extension for Beretta magazines, and you could actually put that on there, and that would give you 20 rounds. So, and it would work in the gun. So that's kind of an option on the magazines. They are Magar mags, which are very, very high quality magazines. You can see this is the TP9 regular mag. This is the TP9SA mag. They even say TP series. Again, all that's different is the base plates. So I'm sure the magazines for the TP9 will be out. SA will be out soon, but in the meantime, you can do something like I did and have an extra mag. I'll probably order another one. I like to have at least 4 mags, if not more, for my pistols. But so back to the gun. It's got a cold hammer forged barrel. These the Canik brand is made in Turkey, and they have really, really high standards. They're military standards. They have to meet ISO 9000 standards. Each one of these guns has a 50,000 round torture test it's put through before it can be sold. So, you know, that's kind of their torture test for their TP9 pistols, and that's pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. So this is a huge improvement over the original one. I think I have been able to handle the other one. It's more of a direct copy of the Walther P99, which is a great gun, but it's double action, single action, and the double action is pretty long. And I'm just a much bigger fan of striker fired guns. All my pistols I have are striker fired, and I really just prefer that single action. It's much smoother trigger pull, makes the gun more accurate in my opinion, because you're not fighting that double action. And like I said, this gun just has an amazing, amazing trigger on it. So for the price, you really can't beat it. I mean, it's $330 for a full-size 9mm with this kind of trigger. I mean, the next closest thing I'm thinking of is, I mean, the only thing that even rivals the trigger is the PPQ, and that's a $500 plus gun. VP9 is a $600 gun. There's going to be some Glock lovers out there that are going to, you know, say maybe just buy a used Glock. This thing blows them away. I mean, it has a much better trigger. It's very accurate. I like the grip angle and the grip a lot better than Glocks, and that's just my personal preference. Nothing against Glocks. I've owned quite a few, and they're great guns. It's just, you know, this is a much better value. Takedown is well, one of the things about Takedown is it has this striker decocker right here, which is on the original model. So when you cock the gun, you can see the striker indicator there. You can actually hit this decocker, and that will decock the gun. And everyone's like, well, why would you want that? Really, it's just for takedown purposes, because that's part of how you take down the gun. See how I just did that? Bam. Hit that button, slid that slide right off. All you gotta do is decock it. That way you don't have to pull the trigger while clean. That's some, you know, kind of a safety thing. Obviously, you're gonna check if your weapon's unloaded if you're smart, but, you know, just another safety feature, so that's kind of why I think it's there. Other than that, I can't see why you'd ever use it, but it is nice for cleaning. That's how easy the slide comes off, just pushing that button down. And then you have your typical guide rod assembly here with your spring, recoil spring, your barrel. I mean, it takes apart pretty much like any other striker fired gun does. Just like the Glocks, like the M&Ps, like the Springfields. I mean, it's very, very similar takedown. So, super easy takedown on this gun. Bam, you're done. Back to normal, ready to go. Excuse me, there's that cough. So let's look at some accuracy of this gun. I typically just shoot steel just because I like the reaction of steel better than paper, but I did take this up to the range and shot some groups with it and had some pretty awesome groups. Here's one of my groups here, about 9 shots. You can see I pulled this one shot here, but these other ones are all within, you know, here's my little tape measure at, dang it. You know, I would say that's at least a 2-inch group at 10 yards offhand, just standing. That's really good accuracy. Let's see here. When I was actually shooting for groups, I did pretty good. Here's another one that's pretty good. Right there. Another group there. Pulled that one shot, but these are all right, you know, right in that little square. Same with this one here. So you can see, and that one there. I tend to pull at least one shot. It's probably the first shot, I'm guessing. But all those other ones are, you know, really, really closely grouped. That's just shooting cheap federal ammunition, 10 yards, like I said, standing, no rest or anything like that, just offhand shooting. That's the first time I ever shot the gun, and it was brand new. So that is out of the box accuracy. I'm assuming that will actually increase with more use of the gun, breaking it in a little bit more. So it's exceptionally accurate. It is been 100% reliable, no malfunctions of any kind. It's just really impressive pistol. I've been looking at them since they've been released, and I was really wanting one because they took the M9 mags, and I had a bunch of those. But I decided to get one anyway, just because I've heard so many good things about it, and I just kind of had the itch for a new gun, and I can always use another 9mm pistol. So with the gun, you get the 2 mags, you get this paddle holster. It's like a level 2 retention style, kind of like the Serpa holster. Not my favorite type of holster, but hey, the fact that it comes with a holster from the factory is pretty rad. It's got a paddle attachment, or you've got a belt attachment. I had the paddle on there, but you can use the belt as well. It comes with 2 magazines, and you've got your your little brochure here and operating manual, but I didn't really need that. It was super easy to figure out, and your worthless gun lock that I'll never use. And then you have an extra back strap as well. I believe this is the larger back strap. So you get a lot of value for your money. I mean, $330, you know, plus your, oh yeah, and you get a little mag loader, which I'll use my Upalula, but it's cool that it comes with all that stuff, and the 2 mags, and the exceptional firearm, because for the money, it really can't be beat. I don't know of any value pistol out there that's got better value than this, just because it's got such an, I mean, there's a lot of pistols that are expensive that may be reliable, but do they have this level of manufacturing? Do they have this good of a trigger? I mean, there's very little uptake on that trigger. Let's do the reset. I didn't get it enough to reset it. And there's your reset. So your follow-up shot is just a teeny pull, you know, and then you're back to that reset, and it's audible. I love audible resets on triggers. Like I said, haven't felt anything better than since my PPQ. Let's actually get my PPQ, and we'll do a little comparison. Hold back to PPQ, just for your safety, not to show that's open. So your take up on your trigger is a little bit, actually it's quite a bit more on the PPQ. It's got a little bit more take up. And it's got that really short release. So this actually has, it's pretty close. Maybe a little less take up. And pretty much as short as a release. I mean, this PPQ trigger has been worn in. I mean, this gun has thousands of rounds through it. So it's got, I mean, your initial take ups there. Reset. Fire. I would say they're super similar. It may even have a little bit shorter of a reset. If anything, it's almost identical, very close. The advantage of the Canik is obviously the price is considerably less. This is the M1 PPQ, by the way. Considerably less price, and it's a bigger gun. It holds more capacity. It's got a longer barrel. It's gonna be a little bit more accurate. So you do have some advantages for sure. So if you're in the market for a good striker fired pistol, really look no further than the Canik. It's hard to beat. You know, it's exceptional value. The sights are nice. It's not night sights or anything. That would be a huge bonus. But you know, what do you expect for the price point here? I actually have nothing negative to say about the gun. I just been really enjoying shooting it. It's a pleasure to shoot. Recoil, it's got a lower bore axis than the PPQ, so it has a little less flip, I noticed, when shooting. That's my one complaint on the PPQ, is that I got a little bit higher bore axis, so it's going to have a little bit less flip muzzle rise, I guess you'd say, when you're shooting it. So we'll get some more videos shooting the gun. I was going to do it when I was at the range, but it was a public range, and it's always hard to get cameras in there and film while other people are shooting. So I'll get some footage of me shooting maybe up in the mountains again with some steel, and just so you can have some footage of that. But I highly, highly recommend this pistol. they are getting harder and harder to get. When they come in stock, they sell out really fast. So they're right now the supply. I know they're available. I mean, I've seen a few shops that have them in stock right now. So if you're looking for, if you got a little Christmas money to spend and you want to get a new handgun, I highly recommend the Canik TP9SA. Now, I strongly recommend you spend a little extra money and get the SA version over the typical TP9. You're getting a lot more gun for your money. The TP9s, the standard TP9s, have dropped in price quite a bit, and they're great. I'm sure they're great guns, but you're getting just a phenomenally better trigger on this gun. You're getting a longer barrel. You're getting, actually, I think it's about the same size barrel. You're just getting a better gun, in my opinion. For me, it's really about the trigger, and it's worth it. It's worth spending a little extra money to get that single action, sweet striker fired trigger. I mean, it's just short little reset, bam. Not a lot of take up on the trigger. So, anyway, guys, that's my initial impressions of the Canik TP9SA. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll see you in the next video.